And we're live. Hi everyone, this is amateurgamer, and I'll be returning to Beyond All Reason, continuing with my Beyond All Reason cast. Now showing a 8v8 Supreme Strait version 1.4. And apparently I paused too soon because all of our players haven't showed up yet. But we have Oxide as red, Atheos as pink, or is capitalist? I guess that's kind of a grayish. Light yellow. Hello, Claudio. I'm butchering names. I apologize. Jared, who seems to be orange. Mocorius. Is that brownish? Man, some of these colors, I'm like, I'm not entirely sure. And then flag in the beer. Yellow. Those are all the players on the bottom left corner. On the top right corner, we have Samson Mines. That's violet purple. Kyo is Joe 1818. Tron 177 is, I guess it's light blue. It's not. I need to figure out what these colors are. Hawks 2 is, yeah, that's definitely more of a green. I guess that's more of brown. Dinuroso Davil, blue. I guess that's more of a light blue, the sturgeon. And then light green whippy. Oh, sorry. It's also dark green. Frostbite 4575. I'm not gonna lie, this color almost almost merged with the terrain. That's why I think I got everyone. I think. I'm just taking a quick look on the side here. I think I got everyone. If I didn't, I'm sorry. So, 8v8, pretty hectic. From what I've seen. Oh, those are wind turbines. I'm like, are you building defenses already? Like, usually the players who are further back will generally go for more econ because they don't need to hold the front lines. So there isn't really much to see initially. Let's speed it up. We have some wind turbines. Our players are basically grabbing what they need. The center will be fairly highly contested because of all the medals. I'm actually curious if we're gonna see any groups contesting for these islands. And also the water, though the water isn't, in terms of medal, isn't as plentiful as I think it. So here we have, I'm gonna call this brown, but we have a construction, a shipyard. Try to take advantage of the water here. The question is, okay, yes. We see some tidal generators and also a shipyard here from dark green, who almost basically merged in with the terrain. We have some light gunboats. I'm not sure what the light gunboats expect to. Are they meant to be harass? I guess they are meant for harassment. And I do think with the offshore torpedo launcher completed, yeah, these light gunboats aren't gonna be able to do very much. So we have naval radar. So is orange actually going for this? Maybe. Or maybe just go for more control. So far blue has been... Wow, those are very early energy storages. Anyways, we see these two sides trying to establish defenses. I only see two commanders. I could be blind, okay. And we already have some artillery be involved. Oh, we're already seeing wardens be involved. I mean, they could have good range. They could outrange these cheaper defenses. Let's slow this down because I'm gonna miss things. Here we see some stouts. They try to make a push. I'm gonna try my best to catch everything. Not sure what's happening. Riptide. Submarine, okay. We see red going for this geothermal plant. Yeah, tidal generator is just a... Actually, that's pretty high. Okay, I was gonna say tidal generator is gonna produce a good amount of energy. Yeah, that's not just good amount. This is like solid. This is solar panel. Solar panel level, or at least level 1. So the question, sorry, solar collector. Anyways, most of the action will be taking place here. Having a warden does help a lot, assuming you can manage the energy. Otherwise, it's pretty expensive. But so far, we are seeing... Whoa. Why are these... I'm like, why are these artillery pushing the front? But purple does have to be careful with the commander. The last thing you want is losing the commander this early on. And we do have two commanders pretty far out. And we do see some pop-up lightning turrets. Yeah, this center is heavily contested. We do see the herring. Outranging the torpedo launcher. I don't see much of a naval presence on this side though. And that might not work out well. Because when you think about it, I mean, they have some metal extractors, but yeah, at least this body of water is highly contested. Here, not so much. Okay, I was like, is there only one commander on the top right corner? No, there are two from each side, I think. Oh, that is so much easier to see. Okay, we do have... Are these hovercrafts or are these just... Okay, these are just... Yeah, there's not much they can hit. Honestly, if they went for a hovercraft, all of this is completely wide open. And the question is, will they do that? I don't think Shipyard could build any hovercrafts. Like right now, honestly, these naval units... Actually, they do need to deal with these amphibious spots. Meanwhile... I mean, that's the main thing. Like, it's easy to forget that if these areas aren't well defended, you're essentially asking your opponents to find a weak spot. But it's possible that all sides are kind of busy right now. We have a lot of heavy lasers. So, from the looks of it, there is a bit of a stalemate. Yeah, the question is, can these units... Nope, not really. I mean, if there are enough that could focus down the commander, it will be worth it, because once that blows up all of these defenses, I don't think we'll survive. But at the moment, it seems like the top right corner has the advantage. They're steadily getting pushed back. I'm just looking at the Rex. Not exactly favoring them. I mean, Teal definitely has a much stronger frontline presence, but they are static defenses at the end of the day. Amphibious bot. The duck. Yeah, that's a tier 2 bot. Bot lab. I'm assuming they salvaged their level 1. Yeah, because otherwise they couldn't have gotten their Tech 1 constructor. So meanwhile, these are still not claimed, because everyone's kind of busy right now. And while we're still having engagements, that's quite a bit of light artillery vehicle. That's the thing, there are a lot of colors, and it does look like the top right corner is actually pushing through. It looks like they're just collapsing here. I don't see them holding the line. That's the main problem. Especially if they don't have an answer to the enemy. That's like, they might be light artillery vehicles, but with sufficient numbers, they will be able to do something. What are you producing? Tier 2 construction bots. I don't think you have time. That's a lot of fighters. Like, damn. But yeah, right now the problem is, if pink space gets taken out, they're basically screwed. Because at that point, the top right corner just have a huge advantage. And right now, these ducks are actually posing quite a threat. And these attack submerged units? I just don't know. Destroyer. Yeah, the problem is Brown built all of these, and they are... Oh no, they could fight back. Actually, they could kite pretty well, especially if the enemy is running at you. Yeah, with enough kiting. And they are low on energy. Ooh, yeah, some of them are basically running right into the torpedoes. Oh, I'm like, are you dead? Nope. But that's a problem. If Brown could kite them, and as we've seen, like, they take a lot of damage. Do we have... Yep, torpedo launchers. I mean, pushing forward is a... Oh, are they... Yeah, they're going after the tidal generators, which is a good idea. Go after the enemy's economy. And I feel like Brown is unable to stop them. But now, whether or not you could justify the cost, oh, that's a whole different question. Oh, there's a Tech 2 shipyard. So Blue has finally, I guess, established some presence. But to be fair, with the enemy navy in the area, it is kind of hard to establish control. And meanwhile, here we are still seeing think it's kind of at a disadvantage. Yeah, they need to find a way to deal with the enemy light artilleries. Man, top right is just having all the initiative. Right, boxing the enemy in, pressing them hard. Brown is... Is Brown too passive? Possible. Light amphibious tank. That's what I was talking about. If you get some amphibious tanks, and you're able to sneak around the enemy defenses, right? It does put you at a disadvantage. And right now for pink, they're playing a dangerous game. Can they not see the enemy? I guess not. But if these light artillery are still grouped up, they're gonna see a very quick end. How bad was the damage? I mean, they did lose some metal extractors. It will slow them down. I mean, if they could launch another one of those attacks. It could pay dividends. Like, it might not seem like much, but if you could do some trades, it can definitely pay off. Jared is... Okay, Jared is the bottom left. That's the problem with AV8. At some point, I'm like, I don't know who belongs to where, who is fighting who is the ally and who's the enemy. But I'm seeing a lot more naval presence on this lake. It seems like they're determined to take out Brown, and they might just through numbers alone. But that does mean that if they have a bigger presence in the water, it means they have a less of a presence. But it's possible that they're just looking at the situation and they're like, yep, well, we got it covered on land. Wait, do they have no anti-air? No, they do. And I do think... Oh, that's quite an economy. I mean, they're not getting harassed. So of course they could do what they want. But looking at the bottom left, it does feel like they're not quite on par, but it's possible that they've been pressured to respond more, so they can't develop their economy as much as they would have preferred. And right now the question is, where will the top right attack? Or if, you know, the bottom left could make a counter attack. Sometimes all it takes is a few mistakes, losing your valuable units, and then once that happens, you can't really recover because you can only build so quickly. And at this point, it's unlikely both sides will have a lot of resources just stored up. And Brown looks like they're in trouble. Yeah, it looks like Brown is just abandoning the waters, which gives the enemy a pretty big advantage. And right now, that's the thing. Like, top right have been able to control the center, which does give them a couple more metal extractors. And they are building gauntlets and various things that could help them get just further control in this region. These mousers don't look like they're gonna get stopped anytime soon. Yeah, so far it looks like in terms of higher tiers, usually, well, other than the ducks in the water, higher tiers mostly the artillery pieces, while the tier 1s are still the other front line, the units you expect to lose quite often. These Sheldon are actually doing... they're doing okay. But whether or not they could push the enemy back, that's a whole different matter. And right now, the other problem is Brown just completely lost us. And I don't think they could reclaim it unless they use air units. And currently the momentum is definitely on the top right corner. They're just getting boxed in. And when you're getting boxed in, essentially you're in a situation where your opponent dictates how things will go. And this is not good. There is sufficient anti-air for air units to not have a good return on them. And as you can see, yeah, there's too much AA. And for a single player, there's only so much you can do. Like, you can't trade against this. Especially when your opponent is just steadily building gauntlets, building nettles. They're essentially saying, yeah, come and fight. Come and challenge us for the center. It's not gonna work well. And right now, yeah, it's a pretty fierce battle. But like I said, one mistake could be all that's needed for things to turn around. But right now, it's definitely not looking good. We do have a bunch of torpedo bombers, so those are... they're also getting shot down, so I don't know if they're giving a good return. But so far, it looks like Capitalist is like how do you hold? And also, don't forget, because they're getting pushed back here, they can't get these metal extractors, which means that overall, just resource-wise, the top right team is just doing so much better. And these grunts are honestly coming way too late. But I mean, if your opponent just have a lot of artillery, these grunts might not be a bad thing, right? They're fairly cheap, but they're providing vision. And if one of your teammates can properly use their artillery pieces to wreck the enemy, honestly, it could work out. I do feel like right now we're gonna see the main engagement where, because I have encountered it, like yes, grunts aren't much, but if they are distracting the enemy, it is definitely not working in your favor. Now the question is, can they hold? Because one of the main thing is, yes, they built all of these naval units, but these naval units can't do anything on land. That's where they're building amphibious complexes, so they are vulnerable here. But the question is, how far can they push, right? Red is also making a push. They are trying to have a coordinated push. They kind of have to before the enemy can start getting alligators to target. And I do feel like Brown's key, like Brown now has to hold this area. If Brown could hold off the enemy long enough for the enemy front to start collapsing, that could do wonders. Have any commanders perished yet? Stealthy rocket launchers. It looks like the attack has been halted. Mainly because the Sheldon line has kind of collapsed on itself. So now we see all of these ducks that are coming out. And if they can start targeting all of these economic buildings, then it's gonna put them in a really good spot. But that's the thing, right? The moment, like when you play on the flex, you do have to hold the flex to a certain extent. If you don't, then wait, are they trying to break through the middle with breaking? Yeah, currently these ducks are devastating the economy. Yeah, they just can't stop it. Like, if the whole purpose of these ducks is to destroy the enemy economy, they're doing a splendid job. And now that they're posing as a distraction, the front is no longer supported, which does, I think it's spelling the doom for the, I do think it's spelling the doom for the bottom left. They had a good push, but I think it came a little too late where the enemy just had too much. They needed way too much momentum to, and now they have these heavy assault tanks, which are not the easiest to take out, mind you. And once you have mobile tachyon weapon, yeah, you are. We might see the commander perish here. They are trying. I don't think the commander is gonna survive this though. It'd be impressive if the commander, yeah, it's a lot of zigzagging. Yeah, that's the main problem. Now they're getting attacked on all sides, and it's just too wide of a front. There's only so much you can do. Now, kudos to the bottom left. They're still trying. But man, this is especially when you have experimental gantry also destroyed. You are in a bad state. Some of your allies, their economy is in shambles, their production is in shambles, and you have a huge front. Like, you might be able to delay, but for how long, right? But hey, I mean, the main thing about these games is you shouldn't give up. You never know. It's entirely possible for your opponent to completely overextend themselves and leave an opening. But when your grunts are just getting wrecked like that, yeah, I'm not very optimistic. Like, that's the thing. Grunts in large numbers, they're okay. But, like I said, how are you going to defend this, right? You push out the attack from the side. And now, your economy here is in shambles. This made me realize how important the flanks are. Like, you need your back end to do what they need to do. But if you're playing on the flanks, you better play well. But that's the thing, right? You never know. Like for example, I mean, I felt like Brown had a chance to command the seas here, but they kind of didn't. If they were able to challenge and take command of this, things might have been different, because then they might have been able to attack the underbelly of the opponent. But you know. But yeah, for these, it's a thing. I feel like, I mean, there's a lot of what ifs, but in the end, it kind of doesn't help that the bottom left corner kind of didn't win. Like, it was pretty even on the top right corner, but sorry, top left corner. But the body of water in the bottom right was eventually controlled by top right. And the center, they were pushed back, which meant they have fewer metal extractors, which kind of just gave their opponent a bigger economic boost. And it does seem like there's quite a bit of is it infighting? But hey, I mean to be fair, like players spend like 30 minutes playing this. Of course they want to win, right? They spend all that time. But yeah, overall, so Whippy Green was able to, yeah, just get was it amphibious? I mean, it has to be amphibious. I just don't know if it's amphibious bots or. But yeah, they basically waited for all the grunts to kind of move past and then slid in and then destroy the economy of the backline. Tron, I think was, yeah, Tron was helping with the defenses. We don't see much of the defenses right now because during that I guess last ditch effort push from the bottom left corner, a lot of those did fall. But yeah, just grunts alone wasn't enough. Sending a bunch of grunts and having artillery or other units supporting them might have worked. And then we have purple. This is purple, right? Yes. Yeah, purple was very patient, and then using the ducks was able to deliver quite a blow during the first attack, and I don't think brown ever really recovered. And then Tron, the trader, destroying ally units. I think it's mostly, maybe they were salvaged, but there were a bunch of stealth missiles here, and I think that was actually because the enemy grunts were getting close enough. That was actually doing a lot of friendly damage. Yeah, this was a hectic fight. I might not do 8v8. It's just way too much. I'm like getting confused on like who belongs to what, and yeah, it's and also don't forget, like, these games 8v8 requires a lot more teamwork. Like, there's only so much one player can do, right? Like Red did pretty well. Red held, forced a stalemate, but when Brown's defenses collapsed and this whole body of water fell to the top right corner, Red couldn't do anything. And essentially, all of these players were, right, their bases were exposed because they don't have defenses there. They had defenses here, and that was all gone as well. So yeah, for AV8, I do feel like once a few key battles are decided, like, it's over. There is no real comeback because the maps are big enough and you have limited resources. There's only so much. You either attack or you defend, and there's only so much you can defend, right? Like when all the grunts headed out, green or light green, especially just light green, just headed to the back and just destroyed everything here, and there was nothing that was able to stop them. It was tier 2 units. There were no defenses. Grunts wasn't gonna do anything, and once all of those got destroyed, like, yellow was basically out of the game. Anyways, I I mean, still a fun match. Like I said, it's a bit too chaotic. Maybe 4v4 will be the most players I'll cast. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a good one.